If I'm below you like this, that's it. Good to see you, man.
Oh, yeah. Good morning. Check, check, check. 1, 2, check. 1, 2. You guys good? Good morning. Thank you guys for being here. We'll get started in just a moment. Morning. My name is Andrea Fanta. I am Mayor John Cooper's press secretary, and we are so grateful that you all are here. A few housekeeping notes just to go through the lineup today. First, you're going to hear from Mr. Fioravanti, representing the Wild Horse and Ryman Entertainment. We have a very special guest, Miss Betsy, who otherwise is known as the Queen of 2nd Avenue, and we're really glad to have her today. Before you, let me go through the lineup. Sorry, so Mr. Fioravanti, you're also going to hear from the councilman from the district here, District 19, Councilman Freddie O'Connell. You'll then hear from Lucy Kempf, who is the Director of Metro Planning, and then you will get to hear from the Queen of 2nd Avenue, who will introduce our mayor, and finally Ron Gobble from the Mayor's 2nd Avenue Task Force will wrap things up. No questions from the podium, but our media partners do know that we've got a media area staged just adjacent for quick stand-ups and interview following. And of course, photogs and crews do have access to the zone immediately following the event until noon. Thank you so much again for being here. It's now my pleasure and honor to call on someone who's been a gracious host, Mr. Fioravanti. Thanks.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Fioravanti, President and Chief Financial Officer of Ryman Hospitality Properties, and it's my pleasure to welcome you this morning to the Wild Horse Saloon. The Wild Horse has been a fixture on 2nd Avenue since 1994, when its opening played a major role in kicking off the transformation of historic 2nd Avenue. That transformation was the result of businesses, neighbors, and city planners joining forces to create a district that honored the past while reimagining how we could live, work, and play in our downtown neighborhoods. And in the nearly 1 year since the December 25th bombing, businesses, community members, and city leaders have come together once again to plan for 2nd Avenue's future. We're honored to host today's announcement and remain committed to supporting our neighbors and our city officials as they embark on another transformative moment for 2nd Avenue and downtown Nashville. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Freddie O'Connell. I represent Metro Council's District 19, where we're all sitting this morning, the home of, among many other amazing corridors, 2nd Avenue. Part of the challenge of responding to the just unimaginable and terrifying moment of Christmas Day last year has been that this wasn't just a corridor that spans from Broadway to Public Square with some restaurants, with some live music venues. This was also many people's home, but it's historic, right? It is a River City district with amazing old buildings full of people who cherish them, many of whom suffered severe damage. I am pleased that as of last night, we have an important partnership underway with the Metro Planning Department, the Mayor's Office, Metro Historic, and I hope very soon my colleagues, that will start a process of restoring the most damaged buildings that won't require now full demolition, which is an extraordinary success. I can't say enough thanks to the Mayor's Office for their commitment to this entire process, both the preservation elements, but also what we're all here for, which is the future of 2nd Avenue. And I also want to extend my thanks to the volunteers who have been picking through materials to find bricks, to find pieces of metal that can be repurposed so that the 2nd Avenue that we know in the future still tells the story of its past. So thank you to Mayor Cooper. Thank you to everybody on this stage for the work that has gone into this. Thanks, everybody.
Good afternoon. I'm Lucy Kempf. It's an honor and a privilege to serve as Metro's planning director. City building is not easy, and it cannot be done in a silo. The progress that has been made to date, cleaning debris, reopening streets, and restoring water, was done by departments. So as a Metro employee, I want to thank NDOT, Metro Water Services, Metro Codes, our Historic Commission and staff for the work that they've done in these days and weeks since the explosion. I also particularly want to thank MDHA for their partnership and work to support us as we imagined the planning and project management work necessary to meet our community's goals. The work that you have done in our city and our community has not gone unnoticed. When Metro Planning was pulled in late January to manage the public engagement process, Mayor Cooper made it very clear his vision for this moment: improve our streetscapes, find better ways to reconnect people to our river and our community, and most importantly, make sure that this is a community-led process. With that, we got to work. And since February, in partnership with the Downtown Partnership, the Urban Land Institute, the Civic Design Center in Gobble Hayes, we held 9 community meetings that helped build support for a vision and a concept for this community. We heard from more than 500 people who wanted to see improvements around the riverfront, streetscape, ensure that our historic character is protected, sustainable design overall, and more people-centric places, which this area deserves. I believe we have delivered on the asks of the community and the vision for this mayor, and we look forward to the work ahead. Thank you.
Whew, it's been a year. Wow. But the experiences of that morning and those first days remain clear. We awoke to the repeated sound of gunshots, or so we thought at the time. Next came that eerie recording of a voice warning us that the RV we could see from our apartment window across the street was going to explode. Then the countdown began, and we escaped in our pajamas with our cat. We witnessed the explosion from the safety of our car at 2nd Avenue and Broadway and knew immediately that our lives were changed. But we also knew we were blessed to be unharmed. We have clear memories of the kindnesses shown to us by our friends and family, strangers, this great community, and the city's wonderful public servants, especially those in the police and fire departments. We remain filled with gratitude and thankfulness for such a brave and caring group of first responders, without whom this catastrophe would have been much more tragic, as they risked their own lives to save others. Initially, with the FBI in charge of the scene, information about the stability of our 2nd Avenue building and what belongings we might still have was frustratingly non-existent. However, our local folks sought to help us and others impacted by the bomb. Captain Mike Armistead of the Nashville Fire Department's Hazmat Division told me they were going in on New Year's Day and asked me for the most important sentimental item I had that he could possibly find in the rubble. Like a true Southern girl, my answer, my grandmother's cast iron skillet. He retrieved it, and that night in the kitchenette of our hotel room, I made one of the best skillets of cornbread ever. Yes. A few days later, we were escorted into our building by 2 firemen. Their job was to let us get a few things. They went far beyond that and helped us get many of our treasured items out of the building, repeatedly climbing 4 flights of stairs and entering unstable areas. We were so touched by their amazing kindness. We are still grateful 12 months later, but we are also still frustrated. You won't see much work happening on our historic Ray building because our insurance carrier, Zurich, has yet to offer a reasonable settlement. Our intention is to rebuild and reinvest, and as we wait on Zurich, we are actively working to see our dreams become reality. This district is important. It not only generates millions of dollars in annual sales and property taxes that support services throughout Nashville and Davidson County, It also ties us to our beginnings as a city. As stakeholders, we appreciate and value the serious responsibility we hold in planning and working on solutions that will take the Ray Building and 2nd Avenue's other historic properties to an even more interesting neighborhood, filled with vibrancy and a sense of place and reflective of Nashville's impressive history and character. We look forward to working with the Metro government toward this goal, to find those solutions for issues surrounding garbage, traffic flow, pedestrian activity, safety, infrastructure, and innovative design. We depend upon our partners within Metro government, from the immediate response of the Metro Police and Fire Departments under the capable leadership of Police Chief John Drake and Fire Chief William Swan, to the long-term strategies implemented by the Metro Departments of Public Works, Codes, Water, Parks, Planning, and Historic, and the Nashville Downtown Partnership. We are grateful for the leadership provided by our Metro Council and our Mayor, John Cooper. And at this time, it is my honor and privilege to welcome Mayor Cooper to the podium.
Thank you for that. Oh. Well, we'll thank everybody for being here, and let me welcome our Metro Council members, our state legislators, our judiciary, and our Metro departments. But let me take a moment to really recognize 21 very special people. Now, they did not wake up last Christmas morning planning on becoming heroes, but they put themselves in harm's way to keep us safe, and we are grateful and very proud that they are in Nashville. Now, Stephen Martini, Director of Metro's Emergency Communications Department, is here with 10 of his 911 responders. And they kept Nashville's emergency lines open and working that Christmas morning. And our Fire Chief, William Swan, is here with 5 of his command staff, whose crews provided search and rescue support. And our Police Chief, John Drake, is here with 5 of the officers who make up the Nashville 6. And Director Martini and Chief Swan and Chief Drake and your teams, would you all stand and let us thank you, our first responders. Well, it's exactly right, and we're so grateful to have you in our community. Now, last October, I presented a capital spending plan to Metro Council. It included $20 million to begin early work on our community vision for historic downtown and the rebuilding of 2nd Avenue. Now, the council approved that plan last night, and I want to thank the council for doing that, and their vote funds the first phase of this vision, which begins at Broadway and 2nd. And that's where we're going to introduce a better streetscape for all of 2nd Avenue. Wider sidewalks, more outdoor dining, public art, food kiosks, and a restored tree canopy. Now, this livable streetscape will serve visitors and about 78,000 downtown employees. But most of all, it's going to serve families who live here. The Downtown Partnership tells me that that's about 15,000 neighbors. And yes, 4,600 dogs. Now, further up is the AT&T building, and it covers about a block with a facade 9 stories tall. Now, that's a significant property to activate, to energize in a historic urban space. And that's why I'm especially grateful to 4 architects here today: Kim Hinton, Cyril Stewart, Ron Lustig, Gina Emanuel, who worked with AT&T on a creative solution for the new facade. And their artistic concept is based on Market Street 2 by Phil Ponder, whose work we all love. And Mr. Ponder is here. If he would stand up and take a bow with these architects. And Joelle Phillips, AT&T's president, is seated next to him. If she would stand also, because I've got a powerful next sentence here. AT&T is fully funding this artistic project, and for that we are just very grateful. Thank you, Joelle. Now, across the street from AT&T, the Callan family, owners of the 4 hardest hit properties on 2nd Avenue, they worked with Metro Planning and the Urban Land Institute on a vision that now includes a passageway to First Avenue. Now, we can make First Avenue a front porch for our river and better reconnect downtown to the Cumberland. And that's going to set the stage for phase 2 of our work, activating an extraordinary riverfront. Now, 2 other projects were funded in the plan the council just approved last night, and they're additive to our work downtown, and they're going to help us create a remarkable riverfront park system. Now, first, the new park node, a half-mile north of Fort Nashboro, past the Woodland Street Bridge, is included in last night's plan, and that's to serve people nearby, like the crew at the new fire station, number 2, and the residents of the forthcoming permanent supportive housing community that is going to be built there. And about a mile south of Fort Nashboro, past KVV Boulevard, there's going to be the creation of a sizable park in the urban core, which really has just not had the right amount of green space for a great city. And that new urban park is going to allow for a trailhead below Rolling Mill Hill to connect our West Bank River Trail. Now, in the coming weeks, you're going to hear more about how we will connect the West Bank to the East Bank and about our opportunity there to build Nashville's next great neighborhood. But today is about 2nd Avenue's future. And it's also about Nashville's next chapter, a city that works for everyone. And generations from now, we want our grandchildren and their children to look at what we created, in part what we're creating today, and say, well done. That's a destination we can only reach, all of us, working together. So let me end by saying thank you to everyone that participated so far. We'll need more in this phase 1 of fixing 2nd Avenue and embracing our great future. And let me say thank you to all of you for being a voice in and part of Nashville's great future. Thank you.
Well, I'd first like to thank Mayor Cooper. We really appreciate what you, your administration, and the Metro agencies have done to go above and beyond to support the historic character, the reconstruction, and the vision of the street. I think we made a huge amount of progress in a year, and we're looking forward to continue. The building owners, the tenants, the residents have all participated in such a positive way. People like Betsy and others have just come in and said, what can we do to get this moving? The district, the Historic Commission Foundation, and 2nd Avenue Strong fundraising program has really supplemented what we've done with historic studies and helping conserve and archive damaged building materials. And of course, the general community through 9 public hearings, or public meetings. We've had valuable feedback, and as we've gotten into the establishing the vision and some of the images you've seen today, the Urban Land Institute and a professional team made up of Kimley Horn, Hawkins Partners, Wilmot Incorporated, Civic Design Center, and the Downtown Partnership, working with Metro Planning, have helped us come up with those concepts. And we're looking forward to those implementation. Again, we'd like to express our appreciation to the Wild Horse and 21C Hotel, who have hosted several events where we've had these public engagement opportunities in person. And of course, a lot's happened virtually, and the Civic Design Center and their ability to hold a virtual meeting is amazing. You know, I can say as an architect who's had an office downtown for 40 years, lived downtown for 20 years, and lived on 2nd Avenue for 4 years, that this is really going to be one of those transformative times where we have a chance to really reinvigorate the heart of downtown Nashville and help us go on for the next several generations as the city continues to evolve. So we appreciate everybody coming, and thank you very much, and we'll look forward to the next few steps. Thank you.